Hey guys, Matt from Just Wrench It here, and today it's time to get a grip. Specifically, hand grips. We're going to talk about all kinds of hand grips today, guys, from tools with them to tools without them, and what you can do when you either need to increase the grip on a tool or install a grip where one was not originally designed for the tool, or it's worn off, it needs repair, and it just doesn't have one. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be a very helpful video, very informative for most of you. I would like to remind you to consider subscribing, like the video, and on this one I think you'll want to share it with some of your friends to let them know about the things that we find out today. Alright guys, so when you have a grip problem, i.e. a tool doesn't have one, or the tool's grip that it does have is old, worn out, non-existent. I know I have a pair of the vice grip channel locks, the ones that are adjustable and locking, and the hand grips on they held up pretty well for a while. But then after a while, I mean, they've disintegrated into nothing at this point. So what do you do? How do you fix a hand grip that's either non-existent or it's in disrepair? Well, today we're going to go over all your options. Now, first thing a lot of people are going to say is duct tape. Now, this specifically here is the really good kind, because that's going to make a difference. But this hatchet that I have here, it's very old. And this is actually the old, like, it's fabric tape. And I'm not saying fabric like duct tape. I mean, this stuff is still on here after who knows how many years. It's actually pretty good stuff, but they literally don't make stuff like this anymore. I mean, it's fine woven, it's good quality stuff, but even over time it's become kind of hard and it's not really providing much extra grip. So there's duct tape, but that's going to get old and sticky after time. Then we turn to our well-known friend and close cousin, electrical tape. And here are a pair of pliers where we have done just that. Again, same kind of thing. It's going to get messy after a while. It's going to get sticky, and it's not going to hold up well. Now, this is another option, much less known. This is a Scotch brand, but this is rubber insulating tape. You can find this stuff at Lowe's, Home Depot, all kinds of different places, mostly in the electrical section. But it looks like electrical tape, but it's actually very thick, and it's rubber, and it kind of is stretchable, like you see how that's stretching out there. And then you know, whatever you have, you wrap in this. It provides better insulation than electrical tape, and you know, it's stretchability, and it sticks to itself readily. So it's really a nice thing when you use it right. But for instance, here is a very, very old pair of the crappiest wire strippers known to man, and I at some point decided to wrap it in that rubber insulating tape, and this is what happened over time. It's just worn off. It's not sticky like the electrical tape or the duct tape would be, but it does wear through. It doesn't hold up well. So that's not a good option. Next is the well-known Plasti Dip. You can buy this stuff at Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Lowe's, all the above mentioned stores. Most hardware stores carry it now. It's available in different colors. And this is what you get. This is one of those cheap ass ratchets everybody knows about, like your basic ratchet you get with most cheap sets. And this here on this one is 5 layers of Plasti Dip. Now, with the Plasti Dip, the thing is, and I'll insert some stuff here in the video to show you what I went through. It's time consuming. It can be dirty depending on how you do it. It's not that intrusive, but it's the time consuming. You have to wait at least 30 minutes between coats. And like, for instance, I had some trial and error on something I was doing with it, and I was dipping tools for about a day and a half, 2 days. And so if you're doing a lot of tools or what have you, it can be kind of a pain to do that. But it does give a good finish. It increases the grip. And right now in the video, I'm going to share with you guys a tip. I will put the video in here with it as well. But I discovered a Plasti Dip Hack. What I want to tell you guys about is I bought this sand-like substance. I will show some of the videos. And I bought that. I did 2 layers of Plasti Dip. Okay? The first layer, then the second layer. Then I took this sand-like substance. It's called something. It's like a decorative thing from the dollar store. And I rolled this in it. It has about the consistency of like soft pretzel salt. And so then I did 2 more coats after dipping it in the sand. Okay, so here's 5 coats of Plasti Dip on the same style wrench. This is 4 coats. 2 coats, sand, then 2 more coats. You get a lot more texture to it. It looks a little lumpy, but I assure you it's firm. And you get a lot more girth. So more texture, more girth, kind of gives you like, I mean, it's more ergonomic no matter how you look at it, because this still feels tiny in your hand. You kind of struggle to grip it. This is much better in my opinion. So there's a Plasti Dip hack for you. I'll insert, like I said, I will insert some of the video there to show you what I mean when I say what I say, but that's what we do. This is a screwdriver that had one of those, you know, plastic handles on it. It's a really cheap one. Why I decided to dip it, I don't know. Mainly just to show you what it would do. And in all honesty, you still have the form factor of the handle, but I mean, it increased the girth a little bit and it feels a lot better. So that's something to keep an eye on. Here's a pair of pliers that I dipped, and the same thing goes there. I mean, you just really added like a slightly rubberized grip to them. It's better than bare metal, right? So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. What do you do when you got this breaker bar from Harbor Freight, the Pittsburgh, and you didn't want to spend the extra $7 to $10, whatever have you, to get the one with the grip on it? And then here is the same thing in 3/8, my 3/8 breaker bar. Same kind of problem. No grip. Here is my brand new Craftsman Ratchet that I paid shipping to get replaced from Sears. And it's still pretty. It's real nice. It's 36 tooth, so it's almost not worth it. But that square handle, I never did really like this square handle, and we want to see if we can improve that today. Got a brand new hammer from Stanley that I just picked up at the store. It's like a carpentry hammer, finishing front. And we're going to fix that today. Also, we have a shovel that needs a grip. And here is what you guys will recognize as the arm to a Harbor Freight aluminum jack. Now, I get this here is like for bumps on the car mainly, but a lot of guys use it when they are locating the jack to jack up the car. But I've always thought that there should be something better than this little bit of knurling up here. I want to add a hand grip, a rubberized grip to the top of this jack, because when I'm really pushing the car up, getting it to lift, that's where my hand's at, is at the furthest point, so that I get maximum leverage. So what are we going to do? Well, when I was researching for this video, first thing I came across, of course, was Plasti Dip. So for your smaller tools and your hand tools, things with multiple handles, this is probably going to be your best option. It is time consuming, but it's your best option for small tools. Needle nose pliers, things like that. But then I came across this. This is called a regrip. You can look it up. This is probably going to be one of the best videos on topic for regrip. I know Real Tool Reviews did one like 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. But anyhow, so I stumbled across this, and I'm an industrial technician. I work in a factory with everything under the sun. So I looked at this, and immediately I knew what it was. I don't care what they package it as or what they're trying to sell you. I knew what it was. And basically what it is it's a piece of rubber tubing around a coiled plastic center. There's a coiled plastic. Think of it as like a spiral bound notebook, but it's really close together, right? So then there is a cord in here. If you reach up here, and you can see here, it, as you pull, it kind of breaks apart. You see? I'm going to show you here how easy this is. Now, you pull from this end here. So you put the grip on in a place where you want it. You want to hold it at first till you start getting the end here, till it starts grabbing on. You want to hold the whole thing, and you're pulling this end, and this is moving on the other side. Okay, so now we've got a little bit pulled, and you see what's happened there. And now I'm going to pull the rest of the way. This one's a little tight fit. Probably could go with a slightly larger regrip. But this is how it works. And there we are. All done. You end up with a lot of coil. And this is a very nice, sturdy, it's not turning, it's thick. Looks like it was built that way. Grip for my jack handle now. Now guys, as I was looking at this, as I said earlier, I knew what this was. I'm an industrial technician by trade, so this looked real familiar to me. So what it actually is, what they've packaged it and commercialized it and repurposed it for, it's actually this stuff here. And this is referred to in the industry as cold shrink tubing. You all know what heat shrink is. That's the stuff when you're soldering wires and you're trying to re-insulate it. You'll slip it on after before you've soldered your wires, then do your soldering, then slide the heat shrink over that solder joint, and then use a heat gun, a lighter, whatever kind of heat source you have to shrink that tubing over that connection to hopefully secure it, insulate it, sometimes even, depending on the grade of your heat shrink, can waterproof it. But I looked at this regrip and I knew what it was. It's this stuff. Now here's the thing. Amazon has some options out there for you. 3M makes some cold shrink tubing, but as most anything with 3M, it's expensive. And when we're not actually worried about any kind of industrial application here, we're just building a hand grip for a tool or something, there are a few options, and I will link them in the description below where I sourced my products from today, and that'll include the regrip. Now the thing about the regrip is it can be anywhere from, I want to say the smallest one's like $11 ish on Amazon, and up to the largest size can be as much as 18 to 20. So they're really kind of expensive. They are a little more refined, and the visual aspects of it are a little nicer maybe than the other stuff that I have here, but it's very similar. This is just rubber tubing. So the regrip is, I got the 6-inch long piece for 3/4 to 1-inch diameter tools or pieces, and I got that for just about $11. This black tubing is 3 inches long, and I got it, it's for 3 1/4, or for 3/4 of an inch to up to 1.5 inches. I got this on Amazon for $5.48. So that's not bad. It's about half the size of the regrip, but it's about half the price too. And in some cases, when you just don't need that 6 inches of grip, this is going to be a better option. Then, the best deal I found so far, now these are a little smaller for your ratchets and things. This is going to be a better option, I believe. I got 3 pieces of this gray, 4 inches long, 1/2 inch to 1 inch diameter. And I got 3 of them for $14. That's about $4.50 a piece. That's not a bad deal, and it comes in as the cheapest option on the table next to Plasti Dip. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the installation of all of these pieces. Now, I have here a shovel, right? And they always do this. They always put the grip up here, and that's all well and good, right? Because that's how you're going to shovel, but there's nothing down towards the bottom, ever. So, what we're going to do here is kind of roughly grab it, get an idea of where our hand would be, right? Somewhere in here. So now that we've got it locked on, and there we go. So we have now a grip down here on our handle so that when we're shoveling, it's covered. So that's an improvement there. And here we have a Stanley Hammer. So what you want to do is put it up to about where you're going to want the handle as you start to pull. And then right there, when it starts to shrink in, you can kind of still adjust it a little bit so you can get that placement that you want. But once you got it locked in, start pulling. And look at that. I almost did that just perfect because it offsets a little because of the coil. So I got that just about perfect. So right there is a very nice Stanley Hammer 16 ounce with a regrip installed on it. Very nice. I'm going to give this away. So I will give it away to one lucky commenter down in the bottom of the video. I will message them at some point when I've decided, and I will send this out to them. Now, let's get these breaker bars I am not keen. I'm cheap, man. I think most people know that, but I'm cheap. I don't want to pay extra money for an extra grip on a tool. Not if I can come up with something myself. There we go. And bam. Perfect. So, there we have it. Look at that. Form fit. Just fine. Almost got it perfect with the end. If you really wanted to, you could have adjusted that. I'm not super worried about it because the functionality is there. Now we have a nice thick rubber grip. I actually prefer this gray, and it's available in different sizes too, but I actually prefer this gray over the black or the regrip. Just, it's that feel to it, just feels better. So that's the 1/2 inch breaker bar. Here's the 3/8 breaker bar. Let's prime this and get it ready. This one I am going to adjust and see if I can get a slightly better placement. Up a little more. Pray. See? Now on that one, I was too far. But you can just take a knife, razor, and trim that off. But that's more than enough grip. You can see I'm right at the top of the taper. That's more than enough grip for this breaker bar. And again, nice and solid on there, not turning. So now, the last of my nice gray ones that I seem to be fond of is going on this Craftsman, brand new Craftsman Ratchet. 36 tooth, the old style. That looks really good right about there. And yeah, we're a little over on that one too. But again, we can just trim this up. But, that's kind of funny. Without that marking on the handle, no one's even going to know it's Craftsman unless they can just identify it from the shape and the style of it. So that's pretty cool. We'll just trim that off. And even though it's still got that square feel, now it feels a lot better in the hand. So I think that's definitely an improvement. Now, here is my new Chicago electric spray gun. I bought the HVLP spray kit. What we're going to try to do, I anticipate doing a lot of spraying with this thing. What I want to do here is I'm going to notch this out just slightly right here. Hopefully I can do that without damaging anything. And then I'm going to try to slide it up on there, and we're going to see if we can get something on this paint gun. Alright guys, I kind of gave it a little notch there. We're going to see how that does. I'm going to try to real careful like. Going to try to put this here. Pull a couple more teeth. Okay, now we're getting there. See, that's where if you guys are watching this, that's where the notch came into play. So I just notched it a little bit, and now we're going all the way. And there we have it. I can trim this little piece right here off. You can see it there, better in the light. I can trim that off, but now, right there on the main part of my grip for my gun, I have a nice, solid, rubberized grip on this HVLP spray gun. Alright guys, so that's it for the video today. I would like to remind you to share to your friends so they can find out about the benefits of cold shrink tubing used as hand grips. Also, so they can find out that the tip to the Plasti Dip, making it a little thicker. And yeah guys, just think about it. I will put links in the description below. They are not affiliate links. They will just be Amazon links. I make no money off any purchases. But if you need a hand grip on a tool that doesn't have it. You can buy a regrip, you can buy cold shrink tubing, you can do Plasti Dip, but anything that you're going to do is going to improve the quality of that tool immensely. And especially some of these cold shrink tubes and regrips just make things so much more nicer. It feels so much better in the hand. That's it, guys. I want you to subscribe for more content. This is Matt from Just Wrench It. I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.